Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvaldo Grimm here with my first top 5 video. Today we're going to take a look at the top 5 silver characters, as I hope this will help new players figure out what to play. I will not rank them based on how much damage that they deal, but on how useful they are. Some will be useful as damage dealers, other will be useful as tanks, and other as supports. My interest is to show you the most reliable investments to take to level 60 gears that you're going to be using even 1 year into the game. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to let me know down in the comments and subscribe, as these two things motivate me to get out more content. Without further ado, let's get into it. Coming up at number 5, we have our glowy boy Green Lantern. He is on this list because of his passive, that is Green Barrier. This gives a permanent shield at the beginning of each match to all your teammates, equal to a percentage of their max health. This is a very great thing to have in the early game, in Arena and in Champions Arena, and the good thing is that it gets better as your characters get better, because it is not a flat amount but a percentage of so the better your characters will get, the more HP they will have and the better this shield would be. On top of that, when they hit your shield, your characters do not flinch, so your shield works as if your opponent is blinded. And if they miss the attack, then you can attack them instead, this way doing some ridiculous combos. You are going to get this way better combos on bosses and sub-bosses in raids, and you are going to shield your damage dealer and your other characters while using him in raids. I've seen players use him as a damage dealer, but very few of them do that in order to be consistent enough to recommend. Other than that fact, his abilities don't have any additional effects except for a dot on his special one. Overall, he is a solid character to play and to get to level 40 gears and maybe to level 60 gears, though there will be choices that are much better later in this video. But at the very least, for the early game, you can't go wrong with him. He didn't score higher on this list because he fills a niche role and is not a popular character, and he can easily be replaced by other characters in any team. Coming up at number 4, we have our wrestler looking boy BANE. Even in the early game, he is not a very good fighter by himself, and he lacks any special thing about his abilities. They are all bare bones except for his passive. Then why is he on the list? Because of his passive, of course. BANE's passive grants at maximum grants a 30% critical chance for all your team and a 30% damage on basic and swipe antagonists. Now let's think about it. Is there any hero that does not benefit from crit chance and more damage on basic and swipe attacks antagonists? No. He's not the best support for anybody, but he is a second best choice for everybody. And he also fixes your lack of materials or completed builds. Missing 30% crit chance on your gears? Use BANE as a support. You have used Shazam and Justice League the Flash and your King of Atlantis Aquaman is all alone? Use Silver BANE support. You are unsure who to be your third team member? Use BANE. Should you build BANE? No, you shouldn't build BANE, but you should most definitely promote him for a level 5 passive and then use him as a support. Why doesn't he score higher on this list? Because all the characters that are going to be above from here on to spots 3, 2 and 1 are going to be characters that get down and dirty and are also good in combats. So unfortunately BANE will stay at number 4, but he's a very solid pick and a very good support. Coming up at number 3, we have Batman. He's 100% the fan favorite silver character and the fan favorite character of all the DC universe. In terms of him as a silver character, he's a great fighter and a great damage dealer. He is in a way your budget Arkham Knight Batman, as they have the same special moves except for the passive and for the fact that Silver Batman, unlike Arkham Knight Batman, can stun raid bosses. His special 1 and special 3 have solid damage, and his special 2 is divided into two parts. A high damage one and the part that leaves a bomb on the ground that stuns, so that if the enemy is killed by the first part and dies, the attacked out one will suffer the stun instead. He can carry you through the early game, and he can be a solid card to use in your daily arena and champions arena grind. His passive is a weaker version of Bane's passive, in a way that it gives only 20% crit damage for Batman and his teammates. Silver Batman sees plays in raids, being used as a damage dealer for his huge damage on special 3. He's not the best choice, but still a good choice when it comes to raids. I wanted to put him at number 2, but while I was writing the script for the number 3, I figured out I needed to make some changes and swap them in between. The differences are very low, but I still helped to downgrade him because of the character that is going to be at number 2 does the thing that he does best, while Batman is more like a jack of all trades character. This is, in terms of number 2 and number 3, this is simply personal opinion. They could be definitely flipped upside down, so they are more or less on the same level of play. Coming in at number 2, we have one of the most frustrating opponents to fight in the arena, and this is Superman. He is one of the best tanks in the entire game because of the fact that he has a shield on his specials and because of his passive. At max rank, his passive gives him 50% chance to ignore basic and ranged attacks directed at you. If enemy misses an attack, then you will not be staggered and they will miss the hit as if they were blinded. This allows you to start a new attack combo, ruining their attack combo midway. The second part of his passive is also great because it provides 10% defense for his teammates. As well, his special 2 is a shield that at maximum blocks 94% of the incoming damage and reflects back to the attacker 64% of it. So he can't be damaged by special attacks or by basic attacks. There is nothing you can do to kill this man. He is strong early game, also having good damage, and can be used as a tank against any team in arena and champions arena later in the game. He can also be used as a combo builder in raids all the way up to tier 8. If he is so great, then why is he not on the top of the list? Simply because he is not as popular and as versatile as the character we will have at the very top. Silverfresh will be an honorable mention for this video. He is a good silver character and his passive gives his team fast attack. He's simply not good enough or popular to make it to this list, but he's a solid silver character nevertheless. He is unfortunately overshadowed by his gold counterpart, which is Speed Force the Flash, who has a similar passive. Another honorable mention for this video will be Silver Cyborg. As out of all the silver characters, he's the second best tank other than Silver Superman. He's a great character overall, but the fact that he's in the same tier list as Silver Superman is a real disfavor to him. His passive is regeneration, and he regenerates a percentage of his health every second while he's tagged out, and on top of that provides 10% health for his team. He is a great tank nevertheless, but is not even close to the level of Silver Superman. Now to our number 1 character, ladies and gentlemen, as if anybody had any doubts, it's Dr. Fate. He is not only the most used silver character, but the most used character in the entire game. If you go on YouTube, 1 out of 4 gameplay videos will have Dr. Fate in them, because he is that good and that versatile. In terms of his specials, they are nothing to stand out for, and most of the time they are not even used. What he is used for is his passive ability that reduces the power costs of your specials by 2 bars of power and reduces the enemy's defense by 10% at max rank. A lot of the top tier characters like King of Atlantis Aquaman or Silver Banshee are simply dependent on that power cost reduction, and the defense reduction is the cherry on top. You can use him with literally any 2 other characters in the game and he will still be worth it. This is a character that you will use from the moment you unlock him to the moment you uninstall the game. Build him as a combo builder, build him as a tank, get his gears off. It doesn't matter how you play, it doesn't matter how hard you try to make him good or how hard you don't try to make him good, he will still perform extremely well simply because of his passive. Ladies and gentlemen, this was all for this video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe and comment down below if you agree or disagree with me. This is my personal opinion based on my game experience and based on what other players think and use. If you have a different opinion, make sure to comment down below, as I think I read all comments and I'm open for debate. Well, this was all, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.